my name is Joe McGowan. Was born here in Mullaghmore, and left, as in our previous conversation, I left there back in 1961 and returned in 1976 to a changed Ireland. I'm glad to be back in Mullaghmore again. Having spent some years in America, I suppose I became more conscious of the changing of the ways when I came back here, more so than people who had never left. And I realised that the old ways were changing and that they needed to be documented. And I did that in just a haphazard kind of a way to begin with. Well, I started in the beginning with just a copybook and talking to the old people and getting the old stories and just writing it in a copybook. And I evolved eventually to a small cassette tape recorder and went on with that for a while. I thought it was nice to have the voice. And if you're writing down what people are saying, you're really not going to get it all, because you can only write so quick unless you have shorthand. So I found the tape recorder to be very useful. It evolved then to doing videos as well, of which I finished up with a good number. And I would read the techie magazines or even articles in newspapers, and they were saying that CDs and DVDs and the kind of tape that I was using, they only had a lifespan of about maximum 20 years, and that would be true of the audio tapes as well. So I became concerned then that everything I had collected, I began eventually to realise that they had a great value, because most of the people that I spoke to had passed on now, and they would have been born. Maggie McGowan was one of the people I spoke to. She lived in Teesdon outside of Sligo there. She was born in 1898, and she could describe in great detail what life was like in the early 1900s, and I think that's a fantastic record to have. And I spoke to many more similar people, and it would be a shame if that record of their voice, their recollections, first-hand recollections of life at that time would be lost. So I was trying for a long time to get somebody to do it, and eventually I came to AVA, as you know, and you digitised everything, and I'm very pleased to have it digitised. I have a sense of security now that it's not going to be lost, and that it'll be there, you know, long after I'm gone. And I think the importance of this archive will be more realised in the years to come, and when I've passed on, than at the present time, when people look for a window into the 20th century and indeed aspects of the 19th century as well.